Hello, welcome to this video, Lily de Silva, lesson 15, the Pali to English exercises. I'll read all of these sentences first in Pali and then we will analyze them and turn them into English. Number 1. Sachetvam dhammam sunayasi dhatvam buddhassa savako bhavayasi. Sache, if sunayasi, optative from the Vedic root shru, to listen, and we have in Pali, for example, sutta, with a single T by the way, sutta, heard, suttam, evam me suttam, thus by me heard. So if you hear the Dhamma, sachetvam dhammam sunayasi, dha is an emphatic, just mean then certainly, without a doubt. Tvam, you, bhavayasi, would become, buddhassa savako, a savaka, a disciple of the Buddha. These words, sunayasi, if you hear, past participle, sutta, heard, mostly we say it in the neuter form, eva me suttam. A savaka, from that same root, in Sanskrit it's a shravaka, is literally, oops, sorry, I've forgotten to show my iPad. Here we go, that's what I've just been writing for you. Sunayasi is the optative that we have in sentence 1. Suttam, heard, evam me suttam, and savaka, Sanskrit shravaka, from the same Sanskrit root actually, the Vedic root shru, meaning to hear. So shravaka is literally a hearer, one who listens. So Sachetvam dhammam sunayasi, if you listen to the Dhamma, or hear the Dhamma, adha tvam buddhassa savako bhavayasi, then certainly you will become, or would become, optative is used here, a disciple of the Buddha. Number 2. Yadi te gitani gayatum ugganheyum ahampi ugganheyami. So, yadi, if te, the songs, ugganheyum, ugganhati, learn, ugganheyum, optative third person plural, if they learn to sing songs, gitani gayatum, to sing songs, ahampi ugganheyami, I too would learn. This ugganheyami, it looks like a bit of a difficult word, ugganheyami. But if you understand how it's composed, it ceases to be difficult. It is from the Vedic root grah, or grab. Originally it was grab with a b, but then that's softened to a, so mostly you see it in the form of grah now. And it means to take, to seize, and it's directly cognate with our English word grab. So there we are, the same word has survived until modern English, grab, grub. It is a class 9 verb in Sanskrit. So what happens, you would expect to see, the class 9, you get the root and na, then the ending. The grahnati you would expect. However, the syllable ra is softened to a vocalic r, so vocalic r. So you get nati, which is actually a regular formation from grah, stressed, grna, unstressed grah becomes gr in Sanskrit. So grihnati, he takes. So that's regular in Sanskrit. It's a class 9 verb. What very often happens in Pali, where you get a h with a liquid like a n or a v or a y or something like that, they often swap places. So in Pali, is grihnati. Firstly, Pali doesn't have the vocalic r, so it becomes a g, it becomes an a. Although the r now has disappeared, the subdotting of the n will remain. So what's happened here? Grihna becomes Grihna Sanskrit has become Ganha in Pali. Again, that's a fairly regular progression. So Pali, he takes Ganhati. Now, if you put the prefix ut in front of it, up or out, so before a g, it naturally becomes by sandhi ud. So udgra, ud plus root gra, in Sanskrit literally to take up or to take out. In Pali, that same word, uganhati, has come to mean learn, as if you are picking something up from somebody. Somebody is teaching, you are uganhati, he's picking it up. So that is how we get this word. So ud in Sanskrit, it becomes he learns, udgrinati, regular. In Pali, uganhati. So, as I said, the word looks a bit odd and difficult, but that's the explanation of it. Now, the optative of the third person plural, if they learn, not uganhati, but uganheyum. So, if they learn to sing songs, yadite gitani gayatum uganheyum, I too may learn. Ahampi uganheyami. Number 3. Sachitvam bijani pahinayasi kasako tani kete vapeya. So pahinayasi, to send, if you send optative, it's the root is he, just to cause something, to send it off, to impel, be the motive for something. Many of you will know the word hetu, as in a cause. That's it. It means something that impels, or is the motive, so the causer, the impeller. Hetu. In Sanskrit, it is a class 5 verb, so it makes hinoti. And like many class 5 verbs that have the no in the middle, Pali converts it to a class 9 verb, hinati. So in Sanskrit, prahinoti, to send, just the he on its own just means to be the cause of, to the motive. Then prahinoti, sends forth, sends, and in Pali it becomes pahinati, he sends, with the subdotted n still remaining in the Pali, because in Sanskrit you've got the pra there. So Sanskrit, he sends forth, is prahinoti, with the subdotted n because of the preceding r, and there is no intervening consonant that blocks the retroflexing of the n. Prahinoti, Pali pahinati. So if you send seeds, bija, seeds, Many of you may know the expression bija mantra, the seed syllable, the seed mantra, neuter noun, so bijam, plural bijani. So if you send the seeds, sachitvam bijani pehineyasi, kasako, the farmer, kete, in the field, vapeya, vapati means to sow, as in to sow the seeds. And here again the octative, vapeya, not vapati, but vapeya. You could also have vapisati, he will sow. So, sachitvam bijani pahinayasi, if you send the seeds, kasako tani kete vapeya, then the farmer should sow them kete in the field. Tani, that's the neuter plural, them, of course to agree with the neuter bijani, it could be omitted here because it's obvious. If you send the seeds to the farmer, he will sow in the field. There would be no ambiguity if you omitted the tani. Number 4. Sachetumhe padumani uchinayata kumara tani buddhasa pujayum. So sachetumhe, if you, in the plural, uchinayata, collect or pick, in Sanskrit, Vedic, the root chi, it is a class 5 verb, so chinoti. In Pali, you can have chinati or chinoti, so the Pali will either retain the Sanskrit class 5 form chinoti, or will convert it to a class 9 form chinati. Avachinoti, and in Pali, uchinoti or uchinati, means to pick or gather. So you aren't heaping it up, you are picking it and putting it into a separate heap, as it were, or a basket. So if you pluck the lotuses, sachetumhe padumani uchinayata, that's uchinati, optative uchinayata, second person plural, the boys will offer them to the Buddha. The word puja, that's number 4 here. Puja, same in Sanskrit and Pali, often translated as devotion or worship. We have Buddham pujemi, I worship or show devotion to the Buddha. As you see here, you can use this verb meaning to offer something by way of devotion, and the person or thing to whom it's offered goes in the dative. So here the same as the genitive, buddhassa pujayum. So tani buddhassa pujayum means offer them to the Buddha. So pujeti followed by a noun indicating a person is to worship, to be devoted to. That's why I say buddham pujemi. If it's followed by a thing, it means that you offer that thing and then you put the person in the dative. So tani buddhassa pujayum, they would offer them to the Buddha, meaning offering by way of devotion. Number 5. Sachitvam mulanganheyasi aham dussam adadayami. So this, so if you take the money, if you take the money, I would take the cloth. Ganheyasi, this is from that root that we were looking at in the previous, just a few moments ago in my notes. So ganhati, just ganhati in Pali, grihnati Sanskrit, ganhati Pali, ganheyasi, you might take, you would take. So if you take the money, sachitvam mulam ganheyasi, I will take the cloth. Aham dussam just means cloth. Adadayami. Remember the root da, to give, with the prefix a, reverses the motion, as it were. So ada is to take. It is one of these reduplicating words, so I give is not dami but dadami. I would take, then it's adadayami. Number 6. Yadi mayam bhupalena saha mantayama amacha na agachayum. So yadi mayam, if we, mantayama, consult or were to consult with the king, bhupalena saha. So yadi mayam bhupalena saha mantayama, if we consult or if we were to consult with the king, amacha, the ministers, na agachayum, would not come or will not come. The optative is used here. Gam gachati, go. Agam agachati, to come. Agachayum, optative third person plural, they would come. Number 7. Sache tumhe ruke rupayata daraka palani bunjayum. Sache tumhe, if you, rupayata, there's rupeti, to cause to grow, cause to come up. Rupayata, plant, second person plural, optative. So if you plant trees, sache tumhe ruke rupayata. Daraka, the boys, palani, fruits, bunjayum, would enjoy. This verb root buj, bunjati, the original, the primary meaning, I think, is more to enjoy rather than to eat. So it can enjoy, then by extension to eat. So this could also be translated as the boys would eat the fruits, bunjayum. Number 8. Sachimayam sapurisa bhavayama puttapi sapurisa bhavayum. So sachimayam, if we, bhavayama, become, hypothetically become, so the optative, sapurisa, good people. Puttapi, sons too, it means our sons as well. Puttapi sapurisa bhavayum, would become good people. Sachimayam sapurisa bhavayama puttapi sapurisa bhavayum. Number 9. Sache bhupala dhammena dipe paleyum mayam bhupalesu pasideyama. So sache bhupala, if the kings, paleyum, were to govern or rule dipe, the islands, accusative plural from dipa, masculine dipo, dipe, the islands, dhammena, literally by the Dhamma, therefore righteously. So if the kings rule the islands righteously, we would be pleased with them. We would be pleased with the kings. Mayam bhupalesu pasideyama. If you're pleased with something, content with it, pasidati, and it takes the locative, you're content in something, pleased in something. So we would be pleased with the kings. This verb pasidati, prasidati in Sanskrit, has the meaning actually of calming, settling down. Some sad sidati, to sit. Prasidati means to pra in a kind of intensive sense here, or intensity or completion, means to be entirely settled, and the imagery is mud or murky stuff in the water settling to the bottom, leaving the water pure and clean. And it's the same imagery with the mind. If you have a purified mind, then by extension, it means just means to be pleased with something. The past participle is pasanna, often meaning purified, and you will find it in the Dhammapada, chapter 1, verse 2. Manasa che pasanena bhasati va karuti va. Che meaning if. Manasa che pasanena, if with a purified mind. It's the same verb, pasidati, pasanna. So I'll read it again in Pali. Sache bhupala dhammena dipe paleyum mayam bhupalesu pasidayama. That this root sad makes its present tenses, that's present optative and imperative, and in Sanskrit, of course, the imperfect will. It changes the root to seed. So sad, seedati, he sits. Pasad, prasad, prasidati, Pali, pasad, pasidati. Number 10. Sachikasako gonam vikineya varnijotam kineya. So if the farmer Sachikasako gonam vikineya sells the bull, the merchant would buy it. Varnijotam kineya. It's from the Sanskrit root, Vedic root. The root is kri, meaning to buy, and in Sanskrit it's a class 9 verb, krinati, which is why in Pali you get kinati, and sometimes with a short I as well. So Pali can have kinati or kinati, you can have both, meaning to buy. To sell, just put the prefix vi in front to outbuy. It means you reverse the motion. Vikinati, he sells. If you look at the this word vikineya, you've got a double K there, and that's because in Sanskrit it is vikri, which of course then in Pali becomes the vikineya. Sachikasako gonam vikineya varnijotam kineya. Number 11. Sache manuse pilenta asapurisa gamam agachayum ahante ovadayame. So if asapurisa, evil people, wicked men, pilenta, that's the also to agree with asapurisa, pilenta, to oppress. From pila is pida in Sanskrit, means pain. So pidayati, Pali pileti, to cause pain, or generally just to oppress. So asapurisa, wicked men, pilenta, oppressing, manuse, accusative plural, oppressing people, gamam agachayum, were to come, if they come, that's the optative third plural, if they come gamam to the village, ahante ovadayame, I would admonish them. So sache manuse pilenta asapurisa gamam agachayum ahante ovadayame. Number 12. Yadi amacha papam parivajayum manusa papan nakarayum. So yadi amacha, if ministers, parivajayum, so parivajeti, were to avoid, if they avoid papam, evil, manusa, people generally, papam nakarayum, so karoti, he, she, it does, karonti, they do, karayum, optative third person plural, they would not do. Manusa papam nakarayum, people would not commit evil deeds, would not do evil. Yadi amarcha papam parivajayum manusa papan nakarayum. Number 13. If you climb up the mountain, you would see deer roaming. Sorry, that just read from the English key. Should be reading in Pali. Sache tumhe pabbatam aru hayata ahindante migecha rukhesu charante makkatecha uddente sakunecha pasayata. So sache tumhe, if you aruhayata, aruhati, to climb, aruhayata, if you were ascend, if you were to climb the pabbatam, Sanskrit parvatam, sachetumhe parvatam aruhayata, if you climb the mountain. Pasayata, you would see, second person plural, you would see what? Ahindante mige, roaming deer. The nominative will be ahindantamiga. It's the accusative plural of a masculine noun, so ahindante mige. The cha, cha, cha is repeated there. It is 3 times. If you want to say A, B, and C in Sanskrit and Pali, you can say A, cha, B, cha, C, cha. So in ahindante mige cha, then rukesu charante makkate cha, makkate, nominative singular, makkato, monkey, accusative plural, makkate, makkate doing what? Charante, moving, rukesu, locative plural, in the trees. Rukesu charante makatecha, and uddeti, to fly, uddento, flying, nominative singular, accusative plural, masculine noun, uddente sakune, and flying birds. You will see birds flying. Uddente sakune cha pasayata. So I'll read that again. Sachetumhe pabbatam aruhayata ahindante megecha rukhesu charante makkatecha uddente sakunecha pasayata. Number 14. Sachitvam pattena paniyam anayasi vipasito so pivaya. So sachitvam, if you, anayasi, so new page 14, the root ni, to lead or to bring, to lead or to guide, ni, then the optative, aneya, and if you do it, aneyasi, that means if you were to bring, ni, to lead or guide, the same root as in vinaya, the rules of conduct, vinaya, literally to lead away, so leading you away from evil, keeping you away from evil, the vinaya. So, sachitvam anayasi, if you bring paniyam, water, patena, in a bowl, notice that the instrumental is used here. Pate would be in a bowl, patena is the instrument by which you bring water, literally with a bowl. The paniyam, the root pa, and one of the ways that you make the gerundive, or the future passive participle, that which is to be done, just paniyam, paniya, that which is to be drunk, therefore water, specifically drinkable water, paniya. As a neuter noun, paniyam just means water. We have, for example, in the same root from kri, we make karaniyam, which is the first word of the Karaniyametta Sutta. The karaniyam, requiring to be done, that which is to be done. And the Buddha, when he had accomplished his task, said, Katam, done, past participle, Katam karaniyam, So karaniyam, that which had to be done. Katam is done. That is done which had to be done. Katam karaniyam. So pipasito means thirsty, desiring to drink, literally. So it means thirsty. In modern Hindi, it's pyasa, reflecting pipasito. So piveya, he would drink. So sachetvam pattena paniyam anayasi pipasito so piveya. Number 15. Kusala kamani katva tumhe manusaloke uppajitum ussahiyata. So ussahati, Sanskrit utsahati, Pali ussahati. The idea of to strive or to endeavor. Here, ussahiyata is put in the optative form, not as a direct order, which would be ussahata, but ussahiyata is like a polite way of saying this is something you should do. So you should, yes, how it's put in the key, you should try. So you should strive, you should endeavor, ussahiyata. To do what? Uppajitum, to arise, to be born. Manusaloke, in the human world, manusa, human loke world. So manusaloke uppajitum, to be born, reborn in the human world. Ussahiyata, you should strive. How should you strive? Katva, doing, kusala kamani, good deeds. This is one of these uses of the katva, of the gerundive, having done, where here it doesn't mean you do one thing, then the next thing you do is something else. Here the gerundive is used in the sense of by doing something. So it doesn't have, it has the means by which you're doing something. So don't always translate this tva thing, this tva absolute event is having done. It often means by means of doing. So kusala kamani katva, by doing good deeds, tumhe manusaloke uppajitum ussahiyata, you should strive, uppajitum, to be reborn, manusaloke, in the human world. Number 16. Sachesu vejjo bhavaya ahantam rodantam darakam passitum anayami. So bhavaya, optative, like if he be a doctor, maybe not quite sure whether he is or not. Sachesu vejjo bhavaya, if he is a doctor. Anayami, I would bring. We had this a few moments ago. Anayami, I would literally lead towards. I would lead what? Rodantam darakam, the crying child. So rodati, he cries. Rodanto darako, nominative, the crying child. Accusative, rodantan darakam. Tam, him, meaning the doctor, and that goes with passitum. Tam passitum, to see him. So aham, I, tam passitum, to see him, rodantam darakam, the crying child, would bring. Read it again. Sachesu vejjo bhavaya ahantam rodantam darakam passitum anayami. Number 17. Yadi putto papankareya ahantam ubadayami. So if the son, my son, this happens so often, you can leave out these possessive pronouns or pronouns generally if it's obvious what's meant. If you said yedi mama putto, if my, then you specifically be talking about my son as opposed to somebody else's son. But yedi putto, and you're talking about what you would do, then by implication you're talking about your own son without specifying my son. So yedi putto papang kareya, if my son were to do evil, optative here, kareya, ahantam ovadayami, then I would, ovadati, I would admonish him. Number 18. Sache amacho panditum acharyum anaya mayam dhammam ugganhayama. There's some ugganhati again. Sanskrit udgrihnati from udgrah. So ugganhayama, we would learn. So sache amacho, if the minister Aneya were to bring, were to lead up, Panditam Acharyam, a wise teacher, Acharyam. In Sanskrit, it's, let me write it on the 18. In Sanskrit, it is Acharya. In Pali, the Charya becomes two short syllables, Acharya, Acharya. It's the same word that in Thai, because of the transformations that many Pali and Sanskrit words undergo when coming into the Thai language, it's the same as the word Ajan. Acharya, Ajan, it's the same word, just in the Thai pronunciation. It's often used to mean a senior monk, somebody to whom people go, is the meaning of the word, the Acharya. So, Sache Macho Panditam Acharyam Arneya, if the minister brings a Panditam Acharyam, a wise teacher, Mayam Dhammam Ganhayama, we will learn or would learn the doctrine. Number 19. Sache Aham Hattena Suvam Pusitum Ussahayami Sogeha Uppataya. So, Sache, if I, Sachehem, Hattena, Hatta is the hand, Hattena with the hand, Suva is a parrot, so Suvam Pusitum Ussahayami, had Ussahati a few moments ago, Ussahayami, if I were to try, if I were to attempt, Pusitum, to touch, Suvam, the parrot, Hattena, if I were to try to touch the parrot with my hand, Uppateya. So patati, rather confusingly, can be both to fly and to fall, but uppatati is to fly up or fly away. Utpatati in Sanskrit. So geha, the house, geha, from the house. Uppateya, it would fly away from the house. Read again. Sache aham hattena suvam pusitum ussahayami so geha uppataya. Sentence 20. Yedi so vijjam pakkositumichaya ahantam anayami. So yedi so, if he, ichaya, wishes, third person singular optative from ichati, ichaya, if he wishes. Pakkositum is to call, vejam, the doctor. So if he wishes to call the doctor, ahantam anayami, I him would bring. So it means I would fetch the doctor. So if he wants to call the doctor, I'll fetch him. Yadi so vejam pakkositum ichaya ahantam anayami. That brings us to the end of the exercise 15, Pali to English.